Hey everybody, Patrick with the Patrick O'Connor team at Coldwell Banker Realty. I wanted to have a conversation today with one of our top producers, Lale, about the Realvitalize program with Coldwell Banker Realty. So I know nothing about this program. This is something new we're doing. And like most new things, I hear about it and then I wait for others to experience and do it, see how it works, and then kind of decide if this is something I want to do. But I'm really excited about this program. Coldwell Banker Realty has partnered with Home Advisor to bring together contractors in our local area and offer an opportunity for sellers to prep their home prior to listing so that they get their home on the market, get top dollar because all these things are done, all these repairs, spruce ups, carpet, paint, all of that stuff is done prior to it going on the market. And this is at no upfront cost to the seller. So Lale, could you give us kind of just an intro about what this program is and what it's done for you?
Yes. So I have worked with the Realvitalize program once so far, because again, I also was trying it and wanted to see before I spoke to it about, how it worked and what it could do. Because I knew it sounded like a really good program, but I thought maybe it was too good to be true. And then, we tried it out with a seller. But basically, what we do is, submit the paperwork to the company, the Realvitalize, and they'll take what your asking price is for your home and they will pay a percentage. It's up to 3% of what the asking price is what they will pay to make, repairs and do some things to update the home. It says on there that it's anything non-structural. So you won't get a new roof, and you won't get an addition onto your house. But, I know in this particular instance, we did, well, I'll tell you about it. So we had a house for sale in West Columbia, 920 Rutland. And it had, older paint colors like the reds and the yellows and the things that aren't really selling as much right now, or don't look as great on the listings, on the pictures. It had that. The carpets needed replacing. It needed a pressure wash. And so, I talked to the seller and we got him involved and enrolled into the Realvitalize, and they had someone come out and paint. They painted the whole house a very neutral gray color and did the pressure wash and replaced all the carpet in the bedrooms and the common areas. And we were able to list it at a higher price, but we got so much activity on it because it was ready for sale and looked as nice as it did, that we had 20 showings. We had multiple offers and we sold it $21,000 over asking price.
And has that property closed?
Oh yeah, it's closed.
And it appraised and everything?
Closed.
Good to go.
It appraised higher too, because that appraiser, when I had a discussion with him, we talked about how we had so much interest. We had multiple offers. I actually had to send him the other offers, but just to prove like, hey, there was demand on this.
Yeah, that this is the
not
right
only
price.
did that help increase the value of that home, but it's going to now help increase the value of homes in that neighborhood, in the area.
Absolutely. So I'm thinking as a buyer, or I'm sorry, as a seller, my first thought is, what's the catch? Like, what is the catch?
Right. Really, of course, I thought so too. I mean, you wonder that, but really what it is it is, so Coldwell Banker and Home Advisor partnered to pay for these contractors ahead of time, but then it gets taken out of your proceeds at closing. So whatever the seller is going to make at the end, they send the paperwork to the lawyer's office and it gets taken out on the settlement statement, and it just gets taken out of your proceeds at closing. So it's nothing out of the seller's hand. Like you don't have to pay out of pocket. It does. I mean, you do have to pay for it, but it's so much easier for everyone to not have to have that cash on hand.
I think this is just, I know both of us are the same in this, that we're so hyper focused on how we present a property to the market when we work with sellers, when we list a home. This is at another level. This just isn't about marketing and getting the home the right exposure in front of the right people. This is making sure that every little detail, like we're setting this up so it can't go wrong. But let's say it does go wrong. Say the property doesn't sell, something happens. What happens then?
Well, it will sell, but no, if it does not sell, I think they have like a year
to pay it back.
sell in a year, then yeah, they do have to pay it back. But there's no reason that it wouldn't sell. I mean, it would have to be some sort of extenuating circumstances, I would believe it with the actual people. But
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, in this market, especially right now, I, I don't know why it wouldn't. And
especially
I
in
think
that area.
yeah, in the area
Yeah.
that was West Columbia, but I mean, really, um, I mean, we used to it's different. The climate's different now. So it used to be okay to think like I'd have a seller that say, "Well, I don't want to replace the carpet, but I'll give a carpet allowance."
Hmm.
Those kind of things. And I think that that's done. Yeah, you can do that, but it's going to take longer to sell your house.
Yeah,
So
and people don't have the vision. We were in this society of everybody was all into, watching these shows on HGTV and obsessed with the fact that they can do things on their own. But I think we are beyond that now. People realize that it's not fun to do that. It's that they want everything ready to go right away.
yes, and I think I mean that's what we're here for because we're the experts and we do this every day and we are the ones that can advise the seller on what to do. So if they, I
Mhm.
think they were hesitant before, like, well, I don't want to paint it because what if the buyer wants it a different color? Well, that's our job to say, like, this is what the buyer's going to want. This is
Yep.
what people are looking for right now, and we need to put our best foot forward right away when we list a home, um, instead of waiting and saying like, oh, well, the right buyer, and if they give the right offer, we'll give an allowance. Well, that's not the way that you get the best price for your home either.
Well,
um,
and we're not interior designers, but
or
what
not.
we see is we're inside homes all the time. And I
Yep.
find myself, and I know you're the same, where you are saying, well, I would do this or that because you've seen it 1,000 times. Or maybe you're leaning people away from a certain thing because you don't want to look like everything else. Or here's the current trends. Or right now people don't want all gray and all white. They're looking for warmer colors or wherever we're heading.
Right.
I think it's a fantastic program. I'm excited to use it. I'm glad you were the guinea pig on this one and did it for us. But is there anything else that you really want people to know about the program you think is important?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like almost like the sky's the limit on what you can do because the things that we want people to uh, work on when we're helping them, I mean, some of it is staging, and especially a vacant home. And if that's something, if it's in that budget and that's the thing that's most important, they will pay for someone to stage the home, things like that. Another really interesting thing about it, though, is and it's not just to get it ready to sell, but it's also to help you get to the closing table. Because what will happen is when you get home inspections done and the buyer wants to ask for certain repairs, they also in this program, if you enroll in this program and it's within that budget, they'll also pay for repairs that are on the inspection report to help you get to closing.
That's
So again,
amazing.
that's another really great way that this is helping sellers to not have to pay out of pocket for things, and help the whole transaction go smoothly. So it's not just, I mean, yeah, we're making sure the house looks great and looks amazing in pictures and is great for the showings and sells quickly for a higher price, but also to get those little kinks worked out along the way so that we're selling for the highest price, but also we're getting to closing
Yeah,
because that's the most
absolutely.
important part.
Well, Lale, I want to thank you for sharing today, and I also want to thank you for everything you're doing to help buyers and sellers this year. Little shout out about Lale. She's having one of her best years yet, helping tons of buyers and sellers. We're in a fantastic market, but now more than ever, it's really important who you work with, who helps you through the process. And I can't thank you enough for everything you do for your clients and for the team.
Thank you.